usually when you come and play for a coach, there is an attachment that you have to that coach. And depending on the relationship you have with your coach, sometimes that attachment is very, very strong. It could be stronger than your parents. So for some people, your coach could be right up there with your dad. Some people, not all people, but I remember my coach who's passed away now. A very strong relationship. I still come to tears over it. And having him leave was one of the toughest things I've had to go through. So this is not a death. Maybe it's a death of his career, but like it's not a death, but it's definitely somebody that some of these players looked at as a father figure leaving their lives. So let's take a look at that article. So the interim coach talks about it, but he said that his players feel betrayed. Oh, sorry, you can't really see that on your screen. Let me scroll up. His players feel betrayed and angry following the firing and arrest of former coach Sherrone Moore. So this was during a media availability event, and he was asked how he and his team handled the events of the last week. Moore was fired last Wednesday because of inappropriate relationship with a staff member. Hours later, prosecutors said that Moore forced entry into the staff member's apartment. Can you see that? Yeah. So I'm right here. Anyway, they said he subsequently was charged with felony, third-degree home invasion, and 2 misdemeanors: stalking in a domestic relationship and breaking and entering. Very strong. I won't say strong because I don't know whether or not they have a case, but very tough penalties that they're bringing up against him, and hopefully this gets sorted out. Again, we don't know all the details, but we know that obviously we know this happened, the breaking in, and we'll see in the coming weeks or months how he explains that. But moving on, the interim coach said he had spent the last week speaking and listening to players, having multiple video calls with parents, trying to treat everyone with kindness and empathy. And that's the best thing he could do right now. The best thing he could do right now is treat everybody with empathy, because a lot is in the air. Again, players came to play for him. They're wondering whether or not their careers or their college football careers are in jeopardy if the school is doing all it needs to do to ensure that they can have the most success. And again, the relationship between the coach and the players was strong. Moving on. It's been a tumultuous time. A lot of first disbelief, then anger really what we're in right now is the kids, quite frankly, feel very betrayed, and we're trying to work through that. Okay. He said he's tried to help his players with lots of arms around shoulders, a lot of listening, a lot of telling them that you love them, but showing it, because words are cheap and that takes a lot of time. What it really takes is you being willing to listen. He is right. He is 100% right here. What's difficult is coming in as the interim coach, having to give all this love to the players and them trying to figure out whether you are part of the plan to get their coach kicked out. So yeah, this article is definitely about him trying to make sure he meets the players in the place that they are. But, quite frankly, what's going through their minds also is whether or not he is to be trusted. And I wonder if he understands that as well. So yeah, there's a lot of emotions and a lot of speculation going on, even on that level. And I hope he's prepared for that too. Let's go on. So earlier in the season, Pogge served as an interim coach against Central Michigan and Nebraska in place of Moore, who was serving a suspension as part of a self-imposed sanction for the NCAA violations related to Connor Stalin's sign stealing scandal. Before he returned to Michigan and associate head coach in 2025, the interim coach served as the head coach at Charlotte for 2 seasons. So now we're just going over his background and why he is qualified to do this. Let's skip down to some of his feelings. He says, I don't know that you can prepare for something like this. It's been complicated. I want to listen to them. I want to understand what the kids are feeling and what their parents are feeling. So a lot of listening, and there's been a wide range of emotions, and we're going through those steps. They're not over yet. I don't expect them to be over it for a while. Nope. At least he's realistic. That's the one thing I like about this guy. He seems realistic about the situations, because it's going to be a while before they trust him, they trust the situation, and a lot of decisions are going to be made in the off season. The mandate that Warde Manuel gave me as an athletic director when he asked me to be the interim coach was to love and take care of the kids, and so that's what I'm spending all my time doing. He said that he had conversations with the players on whether or not they wanted to play or opt out of the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl against Texas on December 31st. I bet they will play. I mean, to be honest, you know, you kind of don't want to miss games. Sorry, you're going to miss my face. You kind of try to not miss games when it comes to college. You get so few of them. So I do think that they're going to play, but the fact of the matter is, like, this is going to have the whole team off-centered, off uneasy, and hopefully they are able to overcome all their feelings and be able to play in the bowl and win. You know, they need a win right now. They need some kind of something to go over the uneasiness, and the W's are always welcome to do that, or welcomed and can do that quickly. But yeah, I just wanted to take some time to talk about the kids, the other kids, the players who may be going through it with the coaching change. Again, changing a relationship, because now they're going to have to build that with the interim coach until they get a new coach. Wondering whether or not the interim coach is going to be named the head coach officially for those players who want to stay there multiple years. That's very important. Building trust again with the organization, because there are questions that they have that the college cannot answer for just legal reasons, just for reasons of just don't want to distract the kids with this info. So they're going to be going through something, but hopefully there's some positivity coming in from the athletic director and the administration. Hopefully the interim coach is able to gain the trust of the players. Hopefully they are able to overcome all their feelings and be able to participate in the Citrus Bowl on the 31st. And, you know, just like the rest of us, wait for the answers for what's next for their college. So with that said, that is the article about the Michigan players, the other kids in this scenario. Hopefully they find some stable ground to be able to land on. All right. Peace out.